everyone.
Hey there guys, Unofficial MCU here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we have an update for the new Daredevil Born Again show. We're gonna go ahead and hop right on into it, break it all down for you guys from everything that we're hearing, from official announcements and confirmations, as well as some recent rumors about the upcoming Daredevil Born Again show. We're gonna go ahead and hop right on into it. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Marvel-related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. One of Marvel Studios' most anticipated Disney Plus shows has also been its most confusing at that, leading fans to question if Daredevil Born Again is really supposed to be Daredevil Season 4 or separate standalone narrative, but it is a bit of both. In the wake of Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio's MCU debuts in the Echo show, also in Spider-Man No Way Home and Echo's Disney Plus show respectively, and even after the 2022 announcement of the Daredevil Born Again show, Marvel Studios has remained non-committal over the question of the canonicity of Netflix's Daredevil, by which it is a part of the Disney Plus in MCU canon, and so as all the other Defender shows as well. So a lot of have kind of taken that they are supposed to be a part of MCU canon. I don't see why else they wouldn't be. Following Marvel Studios' decision to overhaul its 18-episode series for Daredevil Born Again, this question is more relevant than ever though, however. So the question remains, is Daredevil Born Again just Daredevil Season 4? Back in September of 2022, Charlie Cox had addressed the question of whether Netflix's 3 season of Daredevil will be continued into the MCU reboot. And according to what the Matt Murdock said, Daredevil Born Again was a Season 1 and not a Season 4, saying that, in quote, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has been very clear about it being a Season 1 and not a Season 4. It's a whole new deal, ending that quote right there, more or less to be taken as a soft reboot, really. Charlie Cox went on to note the benefits of this new deal, such as getting to tell some of these stories over, actually, saying that, in quote, in a way, what's great about that it is we potentially get to tell some of the stories over and over again in the same way that they do in the comics, ending that quote right there, not necessarily saying that they're like kind of gonna have like this reintroduction between the characters and have to reset up all of that, but really just saying that they're gonna pull new stories from the comics, essentially, not to confuse anybody. At the time, Charlie Cox's comments were true, but today that is no longer the case, it seems. While recently filming began in March of last year, production ground to a halt in June due to the WGA strike, which was then followed by the SAG-AFTRA actor strike. Despite having filmed 6 episodes, Marvel Studios hit the pause button entirely, even after the strikes, opting to fire Born Again's writers and overhaul the project, essentially, reversing that Season 1 direction by now connecting it to the Netflix show, it seems. As a result, Daredevil Born Again appears to be more in line with a revival, not a reboot, as well as more akin to really a Season 4, it seems. So essentially they had filmed 6 episodes, said, hold up, let's make it more connective to the Netflix show, because why not, and essentially scrapped those 6 episodes. I think it would be really cool to still see those 6 episodes, but it's kind of a question if they're still out there, if they actually had used any of the footage from it, or what the deal is with that. But they essentially overhauled it, which means that they are restarting from scratch. So, when asked if the Kingpin from the MCU and the original Daredevil series are the same Vincent D'Onofrio, had confirmed as much to The Hollywood Reporter, saying that, I think it is, and that we are for sure only speaking about it in terms of being directly connected, saying that they're, in quote, I think it is. During our restart of all of the creative on Daredevil Born Again, all the creatives got together and said, look, this is how we've got to do it now. So we are for sure only speaking about it in terms of being directly connected to the original Daredevil, and I think that's a great thing. Ending that quote right there, and I mean, straight from the horse's mouth, there it is, like, directly saying that, yeah, this new Daredevil show on Disney Plus, Daredevil Born Again, is essentially a Season 4 of the Netflix's show. As further evidence, though, however, for Born Again's ties to the original show, D'Onofrio had noted all the collateral story that had happened in those original 3 seasons on Netflix, and how the cast is getting to film the Disney Plus show with all of that history in mind. Saying that there, in quote, it brings in a lot of the cool stories and all the collateral story that had happened in those original 3 seasons. So now we get to start this Born Again situation with all of that history behind us, and the outcome of that history more specifically. So now we're all talking about Daredevil Born Again in those terms now. Ending that quote right there, once again, I mean, all the more evidence and directly from the horse's mouth saying that, like, yeah, this is pretty much season 4 of Netflix's Daredevil, especially after that whole overhaul situation, essentially, which was a couple of months now at this point, and that they are currently filming Daredevil Born Again right now as they kind of want it to be. Since filming had resumed in January of this year, on-set photos have only supported Vincent D'Onofrio's comments and all of that history. While Daredevil's Deborah Ann Wall, who plays Karen Page, and Foggy Nelson's Eldon Henson were reportedly not a part of Marvel Studios' original plans for the Daredevil Born Again show, both of those Netflix stars have now been spotted filming in New York, and for maybe, possibly, potentially, Daredevil Born Again. Also, on top of that, further evidence has suggested that John Berthel's Punisher will be back. Another Marvel Netflix star might be one of Born Again's main characters, hopefully, although there's nothing officially confirmed on that. In addition, Wilson Benthel is also confirmed to return as Bullseye's Benjamin Dex Poindexter for the Daredevil Born Again show as well. As further proof that Daredevil Born Again is being treated as this 4th season essentially, Marvel Studios has officially canonized Daredevil and the Netflix Marvel catalog following the debut of Echo, I think as we all do now know. As now, Daredevil, The Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and The Defenders have all been added to Disney Plus's official MCU timeline and occur between I Am Groot and the end of Phase 3. So this year all being said, what can we anticipate and expect to see from Daredevil Born Again? It's unlikely that Marvel Studios will refer to Daredevil Born Again as Season 4 more directly, but it's besides the point. To clear any of that confusion, Daredevil Born Again is still very much so connective and acts as a Season 4 from what we had originally seen with the original Netflix Daredevil. Granted, this is understandable since how the show now falls under the Marvel Studios umbrella more specifically. However, due to the series' new direction, which acknowledges the past, fans now know if it is a new chapter and one that is expected to begin sometime after Season 3's conclusion. In addition to further familiar characters from The Man Without Fear's first show, as well as unexpected MCU connections and cameos, Daredevil Born Again is expected to introduce new characters as well at the same time. Set photos have already shown Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock kissing an actress, Margarita Levia, whose role is still unknown. Additional photos have also confirmed the presence of White Tiger, a character from the Marvel Comics, who's still making their MCU debut. But I think there will be connections, but I doubt a full-blown reveal of any of those means. Anyway, guys, this year all being said, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial MCU. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. Peace out.